Good afternoon and welcome to Dialogue with Deidre. I'm your host, Deidre Malone. So glad to be with you on this beautiful Wednesday morning. We have a great show for you today. A good friend of mine who's been so active in the Hillary Clinton campaign here in the Mid-South, and he's also been working real hard. He actually campaigned in the primary across the country for Hillary Clinton, and so now he's the lead at the Hillary Clinton campaign here in Memphis and Shelby County, and is going to talk to us about what's been going on with the campaign here locally, as well as there's still time to volunteer with the Hillary Clinton campaign. We still need to be making phone calls to ensure that Democrats, independents, and Republicans who don't like the foolishness vote for a quality candidate. So Dave Cambron's in the studio. We're going to talk to him the first 30 minutes of the show. In the second half of the show, we're going to talk to Sable Otey. Sable is with the U.S. Bobsled team, and she is vying for a spot on the Olympic team for 2018. She's going to be in the studio, and we're going to talk to her about what's it like to train, why does she want to be on a bobsledder, first of all, and just excited about her opportunity. But before we talk to Dave, a couple of things I just want to mention. We were so fortunate to receive from the Tennessee NAACP the Volunteer of the Year Award. Deidre Malone and the Carter Malone Group, we've been volunteering for the organization probably now, for the state organization, for maybe 4 years. The national organization, I know we started probably 7 years ago. And then, of course, the local organization, since I'm on the executive committee and chair of the PR committee, we've been working with them for a long time. So appreciative of the opportunity to receive the award. And it was presented to the secretary of the local chapter, Deborah Davis, on my behalf by the president, Mrs. Gloria Sweet Love. So we appreciate the honor, and thank you so much to the state NAACP. Also, next week, we've been talking about this month, October, is National Seafood Month. And next week is Memphis Seafood Week. And what does that mean? That means that there are a number of restaurants here in the city of Memphis that will be showcasing, asking you to take the Healthy Heart Pledge, and giving you information about Seafood Nutrition Partnership. Go to the Carter Malone Group website and learn more about that. Without further ado, my good friend Dave Cambron is in the studio. Dave, welcome to Dialogue with Deidre.
Thank you, Deidre. I'm thrilled to be here. I'm really excited. This is a fun time of the year.
I know it is. Look, Dave, you've been working really, really hard trying to get the best candidate elected to be the next president of the United States. Talk to me about what you've been doing here in Memphis and Shelby County as the lead.
Great. Well, what we've done is about 3 or 4 weeks ago, we have our office open. Our office is at 2600 Poplar, Suite 519. We are in there every day making phone calls. We make phone calls into Shelby County looking for volunteers. We're making phone calls into Western Tennessee counties asking them to support Hillary Clinton and reminding them. And we're getting ready, and we've started making phone calls into North Carolina because North Carolina is the critical state. If we win North Carolina, there's no way that Trump can win. Well, there's no way Trump's going to win. We know that, but it's the state they've asked us to really work on. So we've been making phone calls into North Carolina, and we're going to start that really a lot next week when early voting in North Carolina starts.
Dave, so I know that you and some others were fortunate enough to be elected delegates to the Democratic Convention, so you were there to weigh in and throw your support behind Hillary Clinton. What kind of experience was that?
It was such a great experience and such a great honor to represent the 9th Congressional District in Philadelphia. I was so proud that morning when we all cast our vote for Hillary. It was just a great 4 days. You hear a lot about, I think when it was going on, people were angry and things like that. And there was a little bit of anger at first, but by Thursday, 99% of the people in the arena had come together and were supporting Hillary. And we heard such good speakers. Every night, we got to hear Michelle Obama, we got to hear President Barack Obama, we got to hear Bill Clinton, we got to hear Hillary, we got to hear, there was just speaker after speaker. It's emotional. You hear these people talking about gun violence, for example, and it's hard not to tear up when someone like Gabby Gifford gets out there, or the Mothers of the Movement.
Right.
And it's just, if you ever get the experience, I recommend everyone go to the convention because even just being in the streets around it is fun.
I have attended 3, and I was a delegate. Well, the first time I wasn't a delegate, but I attended. I think that was the last Chicago convention, and then I was a delegate for Al Gore. So that was like 16. Has it been 16? It's been a long.
So right when you got out of high school, you were doing this?
Exactly. I love you, Dave. Absolutely. And it is such an awesome experience.
Yes.
And I tell people all the time, if you've done it once, let other people have an opportunity. Because I really wanted to be one for Hillary, but I had done it. So let other people have that opportunity. And so I am so glad that you and the others had a chance to go up and cast that so important vote. But now's a critical time.
Yes.
We're less than 30 days out.
Yep. 27.
27 days to be exact. And so what can we do to try and ensure, because we don't need to take anything for granted, that Hillary is elected? What do we need to do, Dave?
Volunteer. That's really what we need. We need people to make phone calls, as I said, into the counties around Memphis, into North Carolina. You can do that in our office. Just come in. We are open every day, Monday through Thursday from 11 until 8, Friday and Saturday from 11 until 5, and Sunday afternoon from 1 till 5. There's people in there making phone calls. And next week, we're going to start something new. We're going to begin canvassing.
Wonderful.
Which is really exciting because typically you don't canvass for a presidential candidate, especially in a place like here. But they've asked us to do that to gin up excitement and everything. So we are going to start canvassing for Hillary Clinton and some of the other Democratic candidates who are running. Because we've got good Democratic candidates running up and down the ballot.
And I think that's something, I'm glad you mentioned that, Dave, because in these presidential elections, sometimes, we get excited. We want to make sure we vote for president, but we don't really vote for anybody else.
Exactly.
We go and vote for President Obama. We're going to go vote for Hillary Clinton. We voted for Bill Clinton. We voted for Al Gore. And all of those other races down the ballot are critical too.
Yes. Yes, it's really interesting. I mean, we're all seeing on the news that we look like we could take the Senate back. Now they're saying we could take the House back because there is such anger on the other side. If you were for Trump, you're mad because you're feeling like he was betrayed by the Republican establishment, so they aren't going to vote for him. And the Republican establishment, many of them are embarrassed for their candidate, so they may just stay home. So we have a real shot of putting a lot of good people up into Washington and perhaps being able to get a Congress which the president will be able to work with, and we can get immigration reform done. We can get some of the crime legislature done. We can get the infrastructure done. We can get Supreme Court justices done. These are all the important things that nothing has happened for the last 6 years because there has been a concentrated effort saying we're going to work against President Obama.
And if we're not, conscious of what we're doing and we allow the Congress to remain pretty much Republican, then I'm afraid for the Affordable Care Act.
I am
because
too.
they have already promised that they want to get rid of it.
Yep.
Yeah, there's some challenges with it, and Secretary Clinton has said there's some tweaks to be done, but without it, we're up the creek without a paddle.
Exactly. I would rather tweak what we have
Right.
to make it better than just to scrap everything and start over again, because we all remember how it was 8 years ago and how hard they had to work to get that passed.
That's right. So Dave, in looking at what else is going on here in Shelby County to try and get people excited about the presidential race, I understand that there is an event coming up this weekend.
Yes. I'm hoping y'all can see this, but it's a Hilla rally, it's called. It's going to be down at Laughlin Yard, which is down on 7 West Carolina Avenue, and I'm sure people have been. If you haven't been down there, it's really a nice place. I think they're calling it Downtown's Backyard. It's a huge facility, and they've got fire pits, and they've got games for the kids, and this is a family-friendly event. And it's going to be Saturday, October 15th from 12 till 2. There will be progressive groups having tables. There will be speakers. There's going to be merchandise for sale. There's going to be games for the kids. There's a pin the tail on a Democratic donkey.
Oh, we like that.
That's going to be fun. So we're asking everybody to please show up down there, and it's kind of a kickoff for early voting because, as we all know, next Wednesday early voting starts here in Tennessee. And in a twist this year, and this is a good twist, it's going to roll out everywhere. It's not, usually it's downtown the first few days. It's going to be at I think it's 22 sites.
Okay.
So beginning next Wednesday, we can get out there. We can begin supporting Democrats. Everyone we get out, every vote we vote early is a vote that's banked and ready. And they're watching this to say, oh, okay, Democrats are coming out. These people are, even though we're not really Democrats, Republicans in Tennessee, because we can't register, but they can go through and say, oh, these people pulled Democratic ballots in the primary, so Democrats are coming out in force. And we believe that West Tennessee, can come out big and can win for Hillary this year.
Well, I'm excited, and I think I saw information about this event on Facebook. I'll
Yes.
make sure that I share it to the Dialogue with Deidre page.
Please do.
And I just want you to notice my fingernail.
Yes, why don't you explain what that is? Show that to the audience.
If Tawan Stout Mitchell and Norma Lester and some others are watching, I do have my one finger painted for Hillary, in support of Hillary Clinton. So green everywhere else, but I've got this blue right here. So if you are interested in showing another level of support, of course I've got my Hillary pin I'm wearing right here, but another level of support when you're in your business meetings.
Yep.
When you are, taking the kids out for dinner, or you're at the PTA meeting, you can still represent. If you can't wear any paraphernalia with the Hillary sign on it, then you can have your little pinky painted blue for Hillary Clinton. So yeah, I just wanted you to know I'm representing.
Yes, there's nothing I enjoy more than like going to a restaurant, going to the bank, and seeing that blue fingernail.
I'm telling you, we're representing. So ladies, you can too. Dave, before we let you get out of here, what else would you like to share about the Hillary Clinton campaign with our viewers?
Well, I've been working on the Hillary campaign. It's hard to believe, but it's been over a year.
Wow.
Some of y'all may remember when Hillary came last year to Lemoyne-Owen. We helped organize the volunteers. As Deidre said, I worked on the primary. We opened our house to the organizer for Shelby County, and he stayed in our house for a whole month.
Diane's a saint. We love Diane.
Yes,
she's a saint. Your wife, Diane.
But it was a good experience. So we are just looking for volunteers. We're looking for help. We can turn Tennessee blue, at least West Tennessee, and that will be a good start. And I think Deidre's already mentioned this. We want to remember that vote the entire ticket. When you get up there and you vote for Hillary and Tim Kaine, right underneath it, there's going to be, in many of our House districts, are Democrats running. We have a couple of contested races. We have good people running. They are flippable. We can flip some of those seats, especially out in the Cordova area. That seat is going to be really, it's going to be a tight race, and we need all Democrats and progressives to get out and support Dwayne Thompson.
I'm glad you mentioned that. Dwayne Thompson is a strong Democrat. He's been working really hard for a long time. I believe Dave's on the state executive committee.
Yes, Dwayne is on that committee with
State executive committee, real strong Democrat. He ran 2 years ago, fell a little short. But we have an opportunity to flip this seat, and we need as many Democratic seats in the state legislature as we could possibly get. So if you live in the Cordova area, go to his website. Democrats, independents, Republicans who are not happy, and Republicans who feel like we need some type of health care in this, because I believe Steve McManus chairs the health committee for the state legislature, and I mean, it doesn't even get out of committee. It just does not get out of committee, and that doesn't make any sense to me, and we have an opportunity to do something about it.
Yeah, if you're tired of the nonsense in Nashville, if you're tired of the kind of antics that we read about and that were tried to be covered up, the Jeremy Durhams and things like that, we need to change that culture up there.
That's not the only race, but that's one we know.
Yes.
Based on the polling that we've seen, that we have an opportunity to turn to a Democratic seat. So
yes, we've got Democrats running up in Tipton County,
right,
and we've got out in Fayette County. We really have a good opportunity this year.
That's right. Deborah Reed up in Tipton County is running for state rep, and running hard. Jimmy's former Speaker Nafee has endorsed her, so we're excited about that. So look at those Democratic races and go down that ballot. Because this is going to be probably one of the highest turnouts for an election that we've seen in a while, Dave.
Yes, I think at first people weren't that excited, and we all heard all of that, but as it's getting closer, we're seeing excitement building. I don't know if y'all saw yesterday, 18,000 people at Ohio State to greet Hillary, and millennials are getting involved, African Americans, Latinos, Asians, it's across the board. Everyone is really jumping on the Hillary bandwagon.
Well, Dave has been with us the first half hour of this show, and I'm so glad. He's a good friend of mine, and I'm so glad he was able to come in and kind of share with us today what's going on in the Hillary Clinton campaign.
Well, I was thrilled to be here. Well, before I get out of here,
you get out of here,
it's not as good as the awards you got, but please, y'all put this out in your yard. Yes, we have signs available at the office.
Signs. Let me make sure people can see it, Dave. Okay, yeah. Here we go. You can see that now. People know I'm a business owner, but people also know what my politics are, right? So I normally have a 4x4 in the yard. I think we had a Hillary Clinton 4x4 in the yard for the primary. We're not going to have a 4x4, but we're going to have a yard sign, so don't even get it twisted, thinking that I'm doing something else. I'm excited. Thank you so much for my yard sign, Dave. I think I told you, Pat and I were talking this morning. We have the yard sign from the primary that is in the yard now, and you know, we're all gung-ho and excited about it.
Great. One last story. We live on a cove out in Cordova. We've got 6 houses. 2 have a Hillary sign. 1 used to have a Trump sign. It disappeared about a month ago. Instead, it now says, "We're screwed 2016, we're not voting for anyone." I'll accept that from a Trump supporter.
Right. I mean, you know, he's just imploding all over the place, and if he were a Democrat, I feel sorry for him, but he's not. So, Dave, thank you so much for coming on Dialogue with Deidre. I want to remind people of the phone number to the Hillary Clinton headquarters here in Memphis and Shelby County, 901-842-1327. The headquarters is located at 2600 Poplar Avenue, Suite 519, and the lead for the Hillary Clinton campaign is in the studio right now, Dave Cambron. Dave, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you very much, Deidre. It was a lot of fun.
Okay, and you know, after the victory, you got to come back and talk about it.
I'll be glad to.
All right, you are watching Dialogue with Deidre. Let us know what you think about the show. I'm so glad to have my good friend Dave on the show talking about the Hillary Clinton campaign. And we're going to take a quick break right now, and in the studio is Sable Otey. You know her. I've talked about her earlier in the show. We're going to talk about her Olympic bid, how she's training, how she plans on getting there, and then we're going to ask you for your support. So, you're watching Dialogue with Deidre. We'll be back in a moment.
We're here because we want to kick off National Seafood Nutrition Month here, and it's really important to have seafood. Most Americans do not eat seafood often enough.
As a community, we must invest in key contributors to healthier and active lifestyles for the residents of one city, one Jacksonville. After all, a healthy city is a prosperous city. So in that spirit, I proclaim the month of October to be Seafood Nutrition Partnership Month. And here's the proclamation. Thank you very much.
So the pledge is to, you sign up at seafoodnutrition.org and to eat seafood twice a week. We've actually launched a whole grilled menu, so in addition to all of our favorites that everyone loves, we have a wide array of great grilled options like wild Alaskan salmon, grilled tilapia, shrimp skewers.
Quick recipe for cooking seafood, and I always want to tell people because people think seafood is so expensive, and it really isn't, and it cooks really, really fast. You can take salmon, you can take some brown sugar, and you can take some low sodium soy sauce because it's going to give it like a salty, sugary taste. Put it in a bowl, stir it all together, and brush it on the salmon and stick it right on the grill. One single meal, less than 15 minutes.
Next week is the kickoff of the Seafood Week, and we're encouraging people to go out to all the participating restaurants in the Jacksonville area and have a healthy seafood dinner. Get in the habit of consuming seafood at least twice a week for the heart and the health factors that are involved.
Seafood does a body good.
My mom is stronger than anyone I've ever known. Growing up when life got hard, her strength helped pull us through. Even after her heart failure diagnosis, she remains stronger than ever.
My family's support keeps me strong. Together, we're rising above heart failure.
Heart failure doesn't have to steal your strength. For simple steps you can take to help prevent, improve, or manage heart failure, go to riseabovehf.org.
For centuries, the hopes, dreams, and promise of this great nation
has been shaped by the African American experience. Now comes a museum to honor this legacy.
And finally tell their story. Tell all our stories.
A story of courage.
A story of achievement.
The story of a great American people continues. Help us make sure it's heard.
The Taylor Brown Apothecary is your community drugstore. Their licensed professional pharmacists provide excellent service while filling your wellness needs. They have $4 generic plans and they accept all major insurance providers. And they even offer free delivery for senior citizens. At Taylor Brown, they pride themselves on the personal care and attention they give every customer. Ask about their uninsured discount pharmacy program. The Taylor Brown Apothecary is your community drugstore. They're located 3333 Shelby Drive. Give them a call today at 901-794-3690 or visit them online, TaylorBrownGroup.com. The Taylor Brown Apothecary is your community drugstore.
Did you know that hypertension is a universal risk factor for heart disease and stroke? The leading causes of death and disability in the United States. You can reduce your risk by remembering 3 words: check, change, control. The American Heart Association wants you to take control of your heart health with the help of the Check, Change, Control program, a free online health management tool available at heart360.org. It's free, it's easy, and it's up to you to take control of your heart health. Find out more at heart360.org.
Dialogue with Deidre. I am so excited to have Sable in the studio today. I mentioned to you earlier that Sable Otey, let me just tell you a little bit about her and then I'm going to let her talk. Mother, wife, educator, okay? And she still has time to train for the Winter Olympics as a bobsledder. And so she's on the U.S. bobsled team right now. Right. And so what she's doing now is training because you still have to try out for the Olympic team. Right. And it's a lot of work. Welcome to Dialogue with Deidre.
Thank you.
So talk to me about why you want to do this, why it's important. I know that you were a runner, a hurdler before, right?
Right.
Talk to me about why you want to be an Olympian.
It's always been my dream to be an Olympian. It's just that when I was hurdling back in 2012, I ended up getting pregnant. So I thought that opportunity had been just taken away from me completely, that I would never get the opportunity to do it again. And then this came around. I tried out for the team. I honestly didn't know where it would take me. I didn't think I would be on the team a year from then. And ended up making the team. And it's been a journey. And now my goal is I can see the Olympics once again, even after having a kid. So it's always been my goal or my dream to be an Olympian, to represent the country, and I'm doing just that.
So quick question, why bobsled instead of track?
You know what? if I want to, bobsledding is different. So I had been training for track. And then once I started training for bobsled, because I'm in competition, I have to train like a bobsledder.
Right.
People don't realize that bobsledding is different from track and field. I would have to go and do a whole different type of regimen to train for track. I would have to do hurdle drills, a whole bunch of other different stuff that I would still sprint and run. But pushing a bobsled is much different than running track, and people actually realize it.
So you have to be, but you still have to be fast, because talk to me about what does the brakeman do and how important is that role as a part of a bobsled team?
Brakeman, it is our goal or our job to get the sled out of the hole, as we say, as quick as possible, as forcefully as possible. We want to get the fastest time. Because usually if you have a fast start, if you have a great driver, you're going to get down the track in a fast time.
Okay.
So the goal is to beat every other country that's out there. So, and then at the end of the race, it's real simple. Well, it's a simple thing, but it's kind of hard, depending on how fast the sled is going. We have to brake, we have to stop the sled. So sometimes we'll have to pull, and we put our legs down, and we press against, with everything we got. And then, because sometimes the finishes are shorter and some are longer. Okay. So you have a certain time, you have to stop the sled or slow the sled down before the end of the
and all runway. Of this is on ice,
right? It's on ice.
So when you're pushing the sled, you're the brakeman, you're at the back, right? Is it just you and somebody in the sled? You got to educate our viewers, really like we're on an elementary level.
So we're both outside of the sled. I'm in the back, and the driver's on the side. And we're both going to push the sled at the same exact time, because you want to create that as much force, to create as much momentum as possible. So you want to be in sync as possible. So the pilot will actually jump in before I will. Okay. And then I will push it more, but that's after the sled has already gained speed. Okay. So it's not like I'm pushing a person from a dead start. It's already going. And at that point, it's already going downhill.
So when you're training now, are you already teamed up with someone, or as a part of your team, do they switch it up? Or are you working with the same person?
We kind of rotate. Okay. Just to get timing, and some people are better with others. Some people may have a good timing with another person, and some people may have better timing with another person. So we all just kind of rotate. We get training runs in, because say if I was going with you and maybe another person wanted to get a run in, they would allow that, because honestly, I couldn't go 10 times. It would be bad for my body. Right. So we get rotations in that way. Every time you get a rotation in, every time you get a training, it's like you have to give it all you got, because they say it's practice, but they're looking at the times every single time you do it.
Because at a certain point, you're going to have to compete to be on the Olympic team. Right. So how does that work, and how soon does that happen?
From what I've read, we've talked about it a little bit, and then we have research we can do on it that they've given us, and they said it's 1 month prior to the Olympics is when they will choose. So we do all this hard work in years before just for that one shot, that 1 month. Yeah.
That's incredible. You would think that they would select a team maybe 6 months out. The team practices together. Wow. No. So a month out.
Right. Yeah, a month out.
That's amazing. Okay, so how do you juggle it all? I mentioned in the opening of your segment, your mom, your wife, you're a teacher. How do you juggle it all?
I have to work on a tight schedule. I don't have any room for any wiggle room. So I usually wake up early, and my husband helps out a lot. He helps out a lot, tremendously. So that gives me more time to train, and then if errands need to be run, I have to do that. But typically I train twice a day, and I have to teach full time, and then I still have to have energy to come home and do stuff with my family and play with my son. So it's hard, and a lot of times I'm always on the go. I'm always rushing. Today it was a little bit better since we don't have school, but I'm usually, if I'm on my way to a meeting, I'm usually just leaving practice, and I'll change. It's not safe, but I'll change clothes in the car. I'll put my shirt on while red light. Okay, change. That's how I was this past week, because I had meetings and stuff. So that's pretty much how it is. I'm always life on the go. Even when I get home, my husband's like, sit down, because I'm so used to moving. I'm so used to going.
So I'm in the kitchen.
Yeah, I'm in the kitchen, eating at the and then at the counter, because I'm just used to it. And he's like, relax. So
it's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot because I was looking at your website, and your body has changed so much over the course of the time. You look like you're like all muscle.
Yeah. Yeah, I need to, like, in the summertime, a lot of us get really muscular, and then once the season comes and it's cold, your body is trying to stay warm, so you're going to burn more fat. So it's going to be more lean, so I'll be, like, smaller and smaller. And, you know, the colder it gets outside, the more I'm out there pushing smaller and smaller and smaller.
Okay.
But most of us are, like, we get bulky because they want us to lift heavy weights and get strong.
Look, I've seen some of the weights that you, what's the most that you've lifted?
Like squats or yep, about 360.
360?
Right, 360 pounds squats.
Really?
Yeah. Again, that's not really.
No, that's amazing.
It's not really safe to do that all the time either because it's not good on your back.
Right.
So instead of us always doing like heavy weight, we do more reps at lighter weight. But you still gain that strength without the expense of having that pressure on your back.
Okay. Right. My word. What is a typical training like for you,
Sable? The first session would be weights. So we go and do weight room. We do front squats, single leg press. We put some weights in our hands and we work on just striking with the weights. Doing a running motion, probably like 10 pounds. We do lunges, jump squats. And that would be like
I hate those.
A session, yeah. That would be a morning session. And then the coach will tell us, okay, go home and take a nap. Well, I have to go to work. So I go to work. And then once I drive to training, I usually take like a 10-15 minute nap if I can. And then I'll get back to the afternoon training. And then afternoon training would be like an example from last week. We had 160 meters worth of hills. So it's like it's part flat and then the last 40 is uphill, straight uphill. So we had 8 of those. So by the time I got to number 3, he's like, what number you are? I'm like, number 4. He's like, okay, we're gonna do 8. So after this 4th, we're gonna take a break.
Oh my goodness.
So yeah, after he told me that, I was just like, oh, I'm gonna throw up. I can't do it. Yeah, seriously.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's hard, but the rewards, it feels good. Like you feel good, you train hard, you feel good, you're getting better. So
look, I want to tell our viewers what's amazing about this is that, Sable has a few sponsors. And for transparency purposes, the Carter Malone Group is working with her because we just so believe in what she's trying to achieve, believe she's going to make the Olympic team, but she has to go away to train, and it's not cheap. And so we're working with her, and we're going to talk to you about her GoFundMe page and her website to try and get people to understand she's a Memphian. And not only is she a Memphian, we've said she's a mom, she's a wife, and a young family. And it is very expensive to train. We're trying to raise at least $100,000 to get her to all of the locations where she needs to be, so she doesn't have to worry about. She's going to have to be off work for a little while as a part of this training. And actually, this week, you're headed tomorrow. Oh my goodness, you're headed to Lake Placid, and for training for how many days?
2 weeks.
For 2 weeks, and so it's not a cheap venture. But she's committed to it, and she is making the Mid-South proud. How many, in terms of on the U.S. bobsled team right now, are there many people from the South doing this?
We're honestly kind of scattered. There's a couple of girls from Texas and a couple from California. We have some from Chicago, so we're from all over the place.
Anybody else from Tennessee that you know of?
Not that I know of.
All right, Tennessee. All right, we've got someone that we need to get behind and support. You've told us what a typical day is like, and tell us about who some of your sponsors are so far.
Well, you guys.
Yeah.
The Joint Chiropractor. We have Algam Nation Massage Therapy. With the sports acupuncture based out of Cordova. I want to make sure I'm not forgetting anyone. Cryotherapy.
Right.
And one more somewhere.
And Eddie, I'm going to talk to Doc, and M1's going to be a sponsor too. Okay, Eddie? All right.
Oh yeah, and I train at D1 Sports. I use the facility, whenever I need to. So
Wonderful, wonderful. So when you're away for the next 2 weeks, what are you going to be doing?
Pushing, testing. So like Saturday we have sprints and I think squat testing.
Okay.
So we'll go out there and we'll run a 30 meter, maybe 2 or 3 times. If we feel like you can only do it 3 times. So you can do between 1 and 3 times. We'll do that, and it's probably cold, which it's warm here, so you have to be careful with that. Make sure you warm up good so you don't hurt yourself.
Right.
So we'll do that, and then we'll do squat testing. We only have 3 tries per weight. So if I go and do 250 pounds, if I try it 3 times and I can't make it, then I have to go with the lower weight. So and I think that's based on a point system too. So if you can squat 283 pounds parallel, like get down like you're sitting in a chair, then that's 100 points. You got to do it 3 times.
Wow.
Yeah.
So how did you do the last time?
Last time I got 100 points in the squats.
Wonderful.
And what did I get in there? I think I got like 89 in the sprints. I actually strained my hamstring. That's why I mentioned warming up really well, because it was cold and I've been training here in Memphis and it was hot.
Right.
So I went out there and tried to do a drill where I kind of did a quick foot drill and then I grabbed the ground and my muscle grabbed.
Oh no.
Yeah. So I went in the bathroom and I wrapped my leg up and wiped my tears off. And then because you don't want to tell people you're hurt because they're gonna be like, oh, we're gonna get her. Like,
right.
She's like predator. Pray. So then a couple other girls got hurt. So then they started telling coach, my leg hurts. I was like, mine too. I wrapped my leg up in the bathroom, and they were like, this is not a track meet. This is bobsledding. So. Yeah.
But in terms of your scores, you did well, though.
Yeah, I did well. I still did well. I mean, I'm supposed to have done better in my sprints.
Okay.
The squats was great, but I was supposed to have done better in my sprints, but I was injured. So
right. But how are you feeling now?
Oh, I feel great now.
Okay.
I feel great. I feel recovered. I did a run, and I'm going to go cryotherapy when I leave here. I got a massage yesterday, so I'm feeling good.
Good. Well, okay. So what else do you want our viewers to know about you?
I just like to stress mostly that I'm just like a normal person, like everybody else. I'm a mom, I'm a teacher, I work full time, and I still have to make time for my training. I still have to make time for my family, and I just like to tell people that it's hard, but it can be done, and just have to stay focused and believe in yourself and not give up. And it really helps having that support system. It really does, because I don't know what I would do without my husband. Like, he's very supportive.
That's good.
Yeah.
And then the 2018 Olympics are going to be where?
Korea.
In Korea.
Pyeongchang,
Korea, and they start when?
When
do the winter start? When the Winter Olympics start? We know it's 2018. Do you know the month yet? February?
March or February.
Okay, so you won't know until a month before.
Right, January 20th.
And so we talked about this yesterday. There are normally 3 teams.
Okay, so
how does that work?
Works, there are 3 sleds.
Okay, 3 sleds.
So based on the rankings in the world, then they'll know like if we get to take 1 sled or 2 sleds or 3 sleds.
Oh, really?
Right. So
let's just say if Korea is ranked higher than the U.S.
That'll never happen, but
exactly. But if they are, then it may be that they get to have 3 sleds and we might have 2.
Right.
Oh, well then y'all better work it.
Right. That's not gonna happen. But I don't know if they're taking the top like 20 sleds, because they might go down and say the top 20 sleds are gonna go on to the Olympics.
Okay.
And that's all based on time. So
okay,
whoever's in that mix of the top 20, then that's who goes.
Well, this is exciting. I'm excited for you. I'm excited for the U.S. I'm telling you, I'm really excited about this.
Yes.
And so what we want is to make sure that our viewers know that you can go to Sable's GoFundMe account, make a contribution. We don't care how much you make. We just want to be able to show her that we're supporting her bid to go to the 2018 Olympics. And let me just say, it's so expensive. So if we want to kind of help relieve some of the stress that this athlete has on her bid to the Olympics, go to the GoFundMe or the Sable Otey website, make a contribution, and show her how much we support her. And look, if you own a business out there and are interested in being a corporate sponsor, just call me, 901-278-0881. We're working with her. You may have an opportunity, if the sponsorship is big enough, to have a big old logo on a helmet or one of her uniforms as she trains and gets ready for the Olympics, because we believe that she's going. Sable, thank you so much for being on Dialogue with Deidre. What we're going to do is we're going to check in periodically with her while she's training. We're normally receiving videos of her training, and we're going to share those with our audience. You'll see them on the Dialogue with Deidre Facebook page, and you'll also see them on our show. So you'll be getting updates on how she's doing. And Sable, thank you so much for coming on the show. Any last parting words for our viewers?
All the support helps. So any support you can give, whether it's verbally, a lot of my kids do that all the time.
Yeah.
When I'm feeling down, they shoot me a text message. That helped me several times last year going through trials. So just support is everything. So
go to her Facebook page and like the page. Yeah. I think that would be great.
Yeah.
And then you can, if you're following her on Facebook, then you can keep up with what she's doing.
Right.
Okay. Sable, thanks so much.
Thank you.
You've been watching Dialogue with Deidre, and I'm so glad that we've had an opportunity to catch up today. Couple of things I want to share with you. I will not be here for my show on Monday because I am getting a little honor. The Baptist Memorial Health Care College, in which I was on the board, is having a scholarship luncheon, and they are giving a young lady a scholarship in my name, so I have to be there to watch her receive her scholarship. I'm excited about that. But I will be on a show starting on next Monday at 5 o'clock, and the show is going to be called The Coach Rick's Show. Ricky Tucker is going to be the host, and that's one of our new shows. He is a business consultant, and he's going to be talking about African American businesses, and you hear a lot about that on the M1 network, and so we're excited about him debuting his show. Another new show that's going to be on board in a couple of weeks is The Knowledge Broker. Mr. Roby Williams, who is the executive director for the Black Business Association here in Memphis and Shelby County, is going to start a show on the M1 network called The Knowledge Broker. So we're excited about the new programming that we have on the network. If you are interested in advertising on the M1 network, let us know. We are excited about having new advertisers, so if you are, just give me a call here at the Carter Malone Group, 901-278-0881. Thank you so much for joining us, and let us know what you think about the show. Go to the Dialogue with Deidre Facebook page and let us know what you think. So, have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you not for Dialogue with Deidre on Monday, but for the Coach Rick Show on Monday night. Have a great rest of your week.